Well, we're here at the Illinois Amish Heritage Center in the heart of Amish country inside the Mose Yoder home. And joining me now, one of the descendants of Mose Yoder, Levi Yoder. Levi, tell me a little bit about your role here at the Illinois Amish Heritage Center.
Well, I've been on the board of directors for 7 years, and I'm chair of the grounds committee.
Tell me a little bit about this home.
Okay, it's a very practical, custom. I mean, it's the way they did things in the day. Like on Sunday, when they have their church services, always have them in their home. And like the preacher would stand here, and the ladies would be over here, and the men over here. And that's how their services. Then they have a light lunch afterwards and go on.
Why separate them? Why separate the men from the women?
Well, I've thought the same question, but you know, discipline. The father takes the boys, and the mother takes the girls, and there's less friction.
There would never be any drama, Levi. Come on now. Okay, so how many rooms are in this home? I see a bedroom, looks like over there. I know there's other rooms upstairs.
There's one bedroom back here, and then, of course, kitchen and dining and a living room. And there's 4 bedrooms upstairs.
Was that enough rooms for all of the children that Mose Yoder had?
I think so. Mose Yoder had 9. Of course, that would be 2 to a room plus 1. And Mose Yoder had 9 children. If he'd have stopped at 8, about 1,000 of us wouldn't be here.
Oh my
The youngest,
goodness.
Jeremiah, he had 12. They had 12. And so that's just a point that I realized here just a few years ago.
Well, good thing he did, because then we wouldn't have you.
Another thing, Mose Yoder came to this area, and he, at 50 years old, and he did 20 land transactions in 20 years until he was 70. He'd buy 160, sell an 80, sell a 40, and he did 20 in 3 counties, Coles, Moultrie, and Douglas. And starting with just his family and one other family, now there are 4,000 Amish in this community, wow. Approximately, I think so. And so that was his motive. I would imagine his wife told him, if you're going to look for new land, make sure the ground is good for a garden. Yes. And he hit that on the nose.
Yes, he did. I want to come over here a little bit and talk about these medicine cabinets, because they're kind of spaced throughout the home. What was the significance?
Yeah, I don't know. Like there are 2 in this room, and there's 1 in the kitchen, one front room. It's just a convenient thing to keep things out of reach of children, for one thing. Okay. And just whatnots and different things.
And the paint, though, is original, too, to the home.
We have a good historian who tells us what color was here first, because it had been painted over several times. And he's persistent that we go back to the original colors as we paint. If you notice, there's some nails here.
Yes.
Okay, when this house was built, there was all square nails. No round nails were invented until 1890. And so this house was built with square nails and, of course, pegs. It's a timber frame home, so mortise and tenon, they framed it up and had it braced, and they would drive pegs in, and that's what supports the house, basically. And then there's other...
Wow. Okay, well, such rich history here in the Mose Yoder home, and we appreciate you sharing a little bit of this story.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Well, and people can come out here to the Illinois Amish Heritage Center, maybe dig a little deeper. There's a lot more to see here within the house, and to get a little history lesson. Why is that important to you, that people know this?
It's beginning to be more important all the time, to leave a legacy. And if people know where they came from, and where they are now, and where they're going, it's important for them to know their legacy. So I kind of got on the board partly because of education for the next generations.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing a little snippet of it here with us today on CI Living. If you want to learn a little bit more about everything happening here at the Illinois Amish Heritage Center, we'll be sure to connect you at CILiving.tv.